I used to try to set goals like that. I'd say, okay, by December 21st of 2016, I'm going to do this. And then it wouldn't happen. And then I'd be extremely discouraged, doubting myself, like all the things. And it's like, no, Madeline, you just need to go by God's flipping timing, not by your own timing. If you're doing the most amount of work that you can do every single day, every day, consistently, you're fine. That's literally all you need to do, is just do the work that it takes every single day. And it will take however much time it takes. Welcome back to Mission Mode with Madeline Mack. I'm Madeline Mack and this is Mission Mode, and New Year's Day is Thursday. Today is Monday when this is posting. New Year's resolutions. Yay, it's the new year. Let's do all the things that we said we were going to do last year, but we didn't do, but we're going to say it, we're going to do it this year, and then we're going to do it for a week, and then we're not going to do it, and then we're going to say, I'll do it next year, and then we do that for the rest of our life. Just kidding, we're not going to do that. Today I'm going to talk about why I don't make New Year's resolutions. I don't make goals for the new year. I don't do any of that. That was a really weird intro. Sorry. I want to talk about why I do not make New Year's resolutions and why I don't just make goals. I feel like, when I was younger, I would have like a big board, and at the very beginning of the year, I would like write out all my New Year's resolutions, and they'd be a bunch of like dumb things because I was a child, but I'd write out all these things to do, and then the next year would go by, and I'd look back and be like, oh, I didn't do anything on this list. But there were a few things. I've always had goals to work towards, but it's not really I've ever I've set goals that I've accomplished, but I feel like I've never truly accomplished a goal because I will set my mind to do something, I will do it, and then right after I do it, there's not even like a recollection of or an acknowledgement that I even accomplished the goal. It's just, oh, we're going to do this now. Like the next step, the next mountain. Like after I do something, there's a hair on my nose. After I do something that's like considered like a goal that I had, I will just go to the next one. It's like not even like, I don't even like recognize the fact that I even accomplished a goal at all. And I think that's can be bad, because if you're not like saying like, good job, then you're just going to like, but also like, I don't feel bad at all. Like, I think it's fine to just like not even acknowledge the fact that you accomplished a goal. Yes, it's important to like look at what you've done and be like, wow, look how far I've come. Look at all these amazing things I've done. But also it's like, I still got so much work to do. I can't even waste any time thinking about what I've done, which there's a balance there. That's a little bit of a struggle, and I will get better at it as I get older, I'm sure. But right now, I don't set New Year's resolutions because it's like I don't even acknowledge the fact that there's a goal. Like with how I, quote, accomplish things right now, I wake up every single day and I have certain things in the day that I need to do in order to build up to my future goals and ambitions and stuff, to ultimately bring glory to God, okay? Because that's the whole point. Like, and I forget about that a lot, and I think too much of the worldly things, and then I get caught up in that, but I'm trying to be better about it. So we're just going to preface this by, let's work for the Lord. Listen to episode 2 of my podcast and hear a lot more about that. But anyways, every single day, I have things to do that work towards my goals. And once those goals are, quote, accomplished, which I don't even recognize that they are accomplished, it's like I just add like more things to do or like switch up my approach, or this is hard to explain because like I don't go by goals. I just go by the things that must be done. I have tasks that I must complete on a daily basis that will build into a vision that I have for myself and that will help me to complete the things that I want to do. And I have this vision for myself in my life that I've sat down and I've thought of for a long time. And also like I visualize my future all the time. Like I daydream when I'm driving or when I'm just sitting in a waiting room or even like in what? Even if I'm in like the middle of a conversation, like sometimes I daydream, like if it's like they're not talking to me or something, like I just think about what I want to do in my life all the time. It is always in the back of my head what I want to do. And I think that's an important skill to learn too, like constantly thinking about what you want to do in the future, being present, but also always having that future vision like stuck in your brain. And like the way that I see it is if I'm always thinking about that goal, that vision that I have for my life, what I'm trying to accomplish all the time in the top of my mind, every single thing that I'm witnessing in the present, every single thing that I'm hearing, watching, doing, I can take little bits and pieces of that and apply that to my future goal. I take inspiration from even the most mundane things. Like it could be a random conversation that I walked by someone talking about in Walmart. Like complete total strangers could be talking. I could hear 3 words from them and be like, oh, good idea. I'm going to do that. Or like that gave me an idea for a reel that I'm going to put that in the caption. Or like that's literally happened. Like in the gym, these people were making a joke and I was like, I'm taking that joke, and I made it a reel and it did really well. And I was like, huh, weird. Like just being aware of your surroundings and just always thinking about your goal is super important. And I think whenever you diminish that down to a time when the new year starts on the calendar, that's the time that you think about your goals in your life and your future. Like you should be thinking about that all the time, not just one day out of the year that you write down your New Year's resolutions and you're like, okay, today's the day that I think about all these things. You should probably be thinking about that all the time, just like we should be thinking about Jesus all the time, not just on his birthday or just on Easter, okay? And I think that's one thing that really helps me to stay consistent, to not, quote, burn out, and to not, to not lose motivation, which is not motivation. It's just discipline. There's so many days, you guys, I don't want to do what I want to do, but I know that I need to do it in order to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish. And yeah, I'm sort of rambling right now, but I just want to tell the importance of just thinking about your goals and what you're doing. What are you doing with your life? Think about that all the time. Think about that every single day, every single moment of the day. What are you trying to accomplish? Yes, stay present, appreciate the moment, all the things. We should learn from our past, be present in the present, and then think about our future and how can we do things in the present to make our future better. And when you just think about it in the new year, it's not the best method of bettering your future. It's just think about your what am I saying? Just to think about your goals one time in the year is not effective enough. And I'm sort of rambling. So I watched a video by Myron Golden, which I love Myron Golden. He's so cool. Definitely check him out on the YouTube. If you guys want to hear some amazing stuff, watch Myron Golden. But he made a YouTube video, something about goals. I'll put it in the description box of the YouTube video, this podcast video that I'm posting on YouTube. But it's basically Myron Golden's goal making plan. And I watched the video and I listened to it and I was like, wow, that's kind of exactly how I do my goals. And it's not that I consider them goals. It's just I consider them like what I do when I'm alive. Like literally, this is just what I do because I'm living. Like I have this thing that I see in my future. I've reverse engineered that to daily tasks. And now each and every single day I wake up to work towards that goal. Boom. There you go. It's not a New Year's resolution. It's just what I'm literally doing when I'm alive. So I'm just going to go through his goal making plan and hopefully this will help you with your New Year's resolutions if you're making any. But I advise you not to. I advise you to just think about your future and just like, I have these goals. I've had the goals that I have right now that I'm working towards since I was in like 6th grade. Like I've just been working towards these goals every single day has built up to what I'm doing now and to what I want to do. And it's not that I reset each year. It's that I just have a goal that I'm working towards, that I work towards every single day. And it changes all the time. That's totally normal for your mountain to change. And when I do accomplish things that I'm like, oh, I had a goal and now it's here, I don't even acknowledge the fact that I accomplished the goal. I'm just like, okay, next thing. And that makes me happy. I don't know, do whatever works for you, but I like how I live and how I think about goals and stuff. So yeah. anyways, let's go through the Myron Golden goal making plan because I just rambled a lot. I'm sorry about that. Number 1, this is like the step-by-steps. I'm just going to read you the steps and kind of like what I think about them, how I apply them to my own life. So, what are the results that I desire? So, what are the results that you desire in your life? And whatever, let's say in your job. Okay. What results do you desire in your workplace? Make a very, very crystal clear vision of that. See it becoming reality. Visualize it. Like, what would it look like? Like, I find myself visualizing certain goals coming true all the time. Like, I visualize how they're going to work out. I visualize like who I'm going to talk to, like what sentences am I going to say, like all the things. And I just do that kind of just like to entertain myself, like whenever I'm bored in my brain. But I've realized like, oh wait, that's like actually really good. And I think I don't think I used to do that all the time. Well, I might have. I think I've always done that. I don't know. It's definitely a skill that you can learn though. It's just to visualize all the time. That's just how I entertain myself when I'm bored. So anyways, you need to make it a very specific, measurable result. So let's say, okay, one of my goals was to be invited to work out at First Form headquarters. That's very measurable. I literally got invited and I worked out there. So boom, measurable results, something you can see. I made it very crystal clear. I have visualized myself working out there all the flipping time. And my goal was to be invited to work out there. I got invited to work out there. And then that was a measurable goal. And now I can say, boom, measured, got him. And it has to be believable. If it's an insane goal that you're like, there's no way I could do that, which you can do anything. But if you can't believe it, even like not even a little bit, it's not going to work out because you're going to get frustrated and nervous and doubt yourself, and you're not even going to try, and it's just not going to work out very good. So you must make it sort of believable. Like I was like, I could totally get invited to work out there. Like there's no way that I can do this. I can do this. And I have had this goal since I was in like 8th grade to work out at First Form. So it took me 5.5 years. Like it was not something that just happened overnight. These goals are something that it's going to take you a while. And I don't like putting a date or a time or whatever on my goals. Like something that I don't like about Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is it's like, you need to put a specific date and time that this amount of money is going to show up in your bank account. And I'm like, I don't like that because that's not going by God's timing. That's going by your own timing. And then whenever it doesn't happen on your timing, which I used to try to set goals like that, I'd say, okay, by December 21st, of 2016, I'm going to do this. And then it wouldn't happen. And then I'd be extremely discouraged, doubting myself, like all the things. And it's like, no, Madeline, you just need to go by God's flipping timing, not by your own timing. Don't be a silly goose. Okay. Just if you're doing the most amount of work that you can do every single day, every day, consistently, you're fine. That's literally all you need to do is just do the work that it takes every single day. And it will take however much time it takes. Okay. There is a certain buffer time of time that literally needs to happen in order for anything to happen. Like a farmer plants a seed. It takes months to grow that seed. It's not like he's going to plant it and go out the next day and be like, what the heck, man, where's my seed at? I've used that example a lot, but it's just so true for everything. It's like your goals are going to take time. And don't freak out if it's not happening at the time that you want it to happen. Because I used to freak out all the time that I'm so behind. I'm so behind. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind. I have so many things to do and they're not happening in the date that I wrote down in my journal that was supposed to happen. No. Okay. God's got other plans. God's got his timing, and he's preparing you for what he's prepared for you in the time that it's taking. So sometimes the work does more work on you than you do on it. I also made a YouTube video about that, but like that's super important to know. Like it's going to take time. Anyways, okay. Number 2, number 1 was what are the results that I desire? And number 2, evaluate what steps or inputs that are going to produce that output. So I'm literally reading this like directly from the notes that I took from Myron Golden's video. All right. What are the perceptions that I need to have in order to achieve this result? What do I have to be aware of? So what do you have to be aware of? Like the cost it might take, the time, effort, the energy, money. Do I have the ability to pay that money? Like how long will it take realistically based on my energy, time, and effort that I have to get there? And you have to believe what someone who has achieved it has believed. Like the guy who ran the 4-minute mile, like the first guy did that. He believed that he could do it. And the only way that the other people after him could run a 4-minute mile was by believing what he believed. Okay, he can do it. Whatever one man can do, I can do. What one man can do, another can do. That's from the movie, I forget what it's called. They get in a plane crash and then they're stuck in the woods and then he has to fight a bear with a stick. But what one man can do, another can do. That's so important. Anyways, you cannot afford to believe that anything is impossible for you, is what Myron Golden said. And I thought that was so good. You cannot afford to believe that anything is impossible for you. You can't afford it. Like it's just like when Alex Hormozy was like, you know what? Quitting is just not an option for me. Like, I just can't do it. You know what I mean? Like you just can't. That's not even in your am I talking too close? I might be talking really close to the mic, but like make quitting not even in your vocabulary. It's not even anything you think about. Every single failure is a step closer to a win. All right. Okay. Number 2, evaluate what the steps or the inputs are. Because if you don't know what you're going to be doing, you don't know what cost it's going to take, you don't know what time it's going to take, when it's taking a little bit longer than you want it to take, you're going to freak out. And also, it's going to take a lot longer than you think. Even when you take into account that it's going to take longer than you think. What is that? Hofstadter's law? Very important to remember that. And don't have a tendency to believe more in the things that are seemingly working against you instead of the things that are working for you. Okay, so I'm reading a note. If you believe more in the things that are working against you, don't believe more in the things that are working against you. Instead, think of the things that are working for you. Believe more in the things that are working for you instead of the things that are working against you. Because you can focus on the negative all you want. That literally makes it a bazillion times harder for you. If you just focus on the things that could go right, the right outcomes, the right things that are working for you, it will become a heck of a lot easier, even if those things don't even happen. Just like thinking in the positive side of everything, like literally makes you more productive, makes you like in a better mood, and makes you feel like it's more achievable. And I know saying like focus on the positive, not on the negative. That's so cliche, but it's so true. And I don't know about you, but I've never met a negative person that was like someone that I looked up to. Like I've never met a negative person who has accomplished the things that I wanted to accomplish, who has done the things that I want to do, who has said what they were going to do and did it. They're usually not in the best shape. They're usually sad, kind of. Like, I don't want to be associated with anything negative, and I don't want to be a negative thinking person. I think it's important to be a realistic thinking person, but you can be realistic and think positively. Or even like the best thing, I mean, just like think neutrally. Just like, okay, it takes what it takes. Nothing is good or bad. Things just happen, you know? Like the story Alex Hormozy tells all the time about the guy. There's an old man in the village and this boy like breaks his foot. And everyone's like, oh no, it's so sad. He broke his foot. And the old man was like, we'll see. And then later, like the army recruits come and take everyone, and they don't take him because he has a broken foot. And they're like, yay, he didn't have to go to war. And the guy is like, we'll see. We'll see if it's good or bad, basically. And it's like a bunch of like events like that happen. And like, you don't know what's good or bad. Like you never know what's like a good thing could be a bad thing and a bad thing could be a good thing. And we don't know until we have hindsight, until years have gone by and we're like, oh, I'm really glad all those bad things happened to me, because if they didn't happen to me, then I wouldn't be the person I am now. So that was kind of a tangent. But I mean, Joseph in the Bible had to flip and go to jail, but in jail, he learned how to talk to all the people, how to command all the people, how to guide all the people in the jail. He learned the leadership skills that he needed to know in jail for when he became Pharaoh. Just like things like that. So let's see. What are the practices that are required to make this happen? So a practice is just something that you do every single day. So let's say your fitness goal is a fitness goal. Let's say you want to be able to get your first pull up. Well, the practices that you'd have to do every single day or a couple times a week would be like, I don't know, 10 negatives. You jump on the bar, you go from the top, and then you slowly lower yourself down. And you have to do that 3 times a week or whatever. And that's a practice that you'd have to do in order to get your first pull up. And then what people are necessary. So Myron Golden talks about the people, like you need to be connected with the right people. It is not good for man to be alone. Relationships are the most important things in our lives. Like literally, it is not good for man to be alone. That was in Genesis. And then he gave man woman. And then like the community and all the things. Like we need people. We need like-minded people. And it sucks when you do not have like-minded people. And that is called the lonely chapter. Like everyone talks about that now. But like, I'm pretty sure it was popularized by Chris Williamson and Alex Hormozi talking about the lonely chapter. When you're like working and no one else around you is working on what you want to work on. So then you kind of like have to leave all your friends behind because like they're kind of dragging you down. And then you're like in this no man's land and you're like, what the heck is going on? I'm working on myself. I'm doing all these good things for myself, but no one's cheering me on. No one's giving me any recollection. No one's giving me any acknowledgement or anything. And you have to work through that time to eventually find your people. And there's also like multiple phases of that. Like Andy Frisella talks about how there's like multiple phases of the lonely chapter. It's like when you find your people and then you like want to do the next big thing. And then all those people are like, you're fine here. You're like, what are you doing? You don't need to do that. And then you have to go to the next group of people and then the next group of people. They explain that way better than I do, but you're going to have to go through times when you are quite lonely when you're working on your goals, and then you eventually will find like-minded people. And if they're super cool, then they'll follow you up whenever you want to keep going. And they'll be like, okay, let's do it. Let's go all in. So finding people that support you is like one of the most important things. You can do it without that, but it is so much harder. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying what I've been witnessing and learning in my life. Okay. This is just what I do. And this is just what I'm thinking. So yeah. Oh, and number 3. So number 1 of Myron Golden's goal making plan was, what are the results that I desire? So make that visualization in your brain. What do you want to happen? Ultimate amazing plan, epic future vision. What is that? Number 1. Number 2, what steps or inputs are you going to have to do to produce that output? What are the practices? Who are the people I need to meet? Who are the people I need to talk to? How much time is this going to take? And number 3, you literally need to act on those inputs. Like, if you make this whole plan and you're like, okay, let's say you do make a New Year's resolution or whatever, and you're like, okay, you do everything right. You make the plan, you figure out how much time a day it's going to take to accomplish it, and then you just don't do it. Okay, well, then you're not going to get it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like you can just write a date and it'll just happen. No, like that's not what's going to work. Okay, that's New Year's resolutions. I feel like that's what everyone does with a New Year's resolution. They just write on a piece of paper, I want to do this. And then they don't do anything about it. And it's like, you guys, you got to act. You got to act. So, and act immediately. And acting immediately could be a month from now. Because a month from now is the only time that you have to give your full and entire 1,000 billion% attention on the thing. And if you try to act like actually immediately, like 5 minutes after you made the goal, and you have a bunch of other things going on, you're not going to be able to focus on it. You need to be able to give your full attention and focus on your goals, or they're not going to happen. Like, I gave myself no other option but to make what I'm doing now happen, because I didn't go to college. I was like, no, I'm not going to be able to accomplish my goals if I go to college. Like, I know that I'm not. It's going to make it insanely more difficult because I'm going to have to put my attention and focus on that instead of on the thing that I actually want to do. So I gave myself no other option. You have to get rid of distractions. You have to focus on your goals. You have to, or you can't do anything if you don't focus. Like, focus is one of the most important things. And I honestly need to make a whole podcast on focusing, on like how I focus on what I'm flipping doing. So yeah, you got to act and act consistently. Even if it's like some days I don't get as much work done as I'd like and I kind of freak out, but I have to remind myself, you know what? I still got up and did the bare minimum. And my bare minimum is pretty high. If you compare it to other people's bare minimums, like I have raised the bar to the point that like my bare minimum is like, I'm not saying that to be like, I'm so cool. My bare minimum is like way better than yours. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying over time, I have worked to make my bare minimum pretty dang good. And it used to not be that way. Like my bare minimum 5 years ago was way worse than it is now, but that is now my bare minimum. So it's like I'm still being consistent on those inputs, even on the days that I don't have as much time to work. I'm still doing those necessary tasks that must be completed, and I'm doing them every single day, and they're not so hard that I can't do them every day. That's another thing. I think people think that to be disciplined and all that stuff, you got to do things that are super hard every single day. You don't, you just gotta do things consistently. Even if it's one thing a day that's you do consistently, that's flipping amazing. So yeah, do it intensely and be consistent. Consistent intensity is hard to beat, is what Myron Golden said. And my camera is about to run out of video. But basically, that's all I got to say. Happy New Year's. Merry Christmas. Hope everyone had a happy holiday season and Christmas time. Happy birthday, Jesus. And it's a new year. And everyone, go flip and kill it. Okay? Take action on your goals. Let's flip and do it this year. Okay? We got it. Have a great week. And yeah. Thank you so much for listening. Peace out. Bye. Ooh.